Absolutely no drama, though, for the leaders, Arsenal, at Turf Moor this afternoon, winning by 2-0. And, Merce, they just continued to produce such impressive games. I mean, 3 times this season they've restricted an opponent to no shots on target. That's happened 5 times total in the Premier League across the season, and Arsenal have 3 of those. At the moment, they look unbeatable, don't they?
Yeah, he defends so well. I mean, Edwards hit the post. I know that's not on target because he's hit the post, but he had a free kick, last kick of the game, that hit the post. But bar that, never looked like scoring. Everything that comes in the box is cleared. They head everything out. Got 2 defenders that want to defend. They've got 2 fullbacks that want to stop crosses. And Declan Rice, he wouldn't be far off a 10 out of 10 today.
That header as well.
Oh, his header was phenomenal. He's run the length of the pitch. I mean, everything he does, he just doesn't stop. I thought he was phenomenal. My worry would be, when Gyökeres went off at half-time, they were nowhere near the same team. Nowhere near. Mourinho come on, he sort of knits it together, but they never really got up the pitch and threatened too many times. So, but yeah, you watch them, they're a well-oiled machine with a lot of talent in that machine as well, and that's very unusual. Usually you get a machine. This reminds me of a Mourinho team, you know, that he had at Chelsea. You know, efficient machine, but had so much talent in it as well. And that's not a good cocktail for everybody else.
And Slavia Prague away in the Champions League to come this week. And were they not to concede in that game, that would be 8 clean sheets in a row in all competitions, which would be a club record. I mean, that is the level at which they're defending this season. And we showed the graphic of that Chelsea record from the 04-05 season. Keep getting the wrong way round. Could you see that being overturned potentially this season by Arsenal?
It's some doing. It's some doing, and especially when it gets later on in the season, when they might have had the league wrapped up and they're still in the Champions League. You never know with the amount of games and how many people they got.
3 in 15. I mean, one of those was at Anfield, and it's an absolute worldie from Szoboszlai.
Yeah, well, a worldie, an absolute worldie, and it's still some doing. You look at it now, they got to go 9, 18, 27, 3 lots of 9s, and let in 4 goals out, and that's some going. But I watched today. And I watched the team never, ever, bar the free kick at the end, last kick of the game that hit the post, never, ever looked like scoring. Yeah. And they wasn't that bad, Burnley. They wasn't that bad. It was just unbelievable defending.
Yeah, you obviously played with a lot of people speak about that. Where do you rank this one against that one?
It's a little bit different because there was the offside, you know what I mean? Tony and Baldy would literally just step up and put their hand up, and you'd literally get offside after offside. There was a different rule in them days, in my opinion. You know, if you went to close the goalie down and the ball got kicked and it got headed back, you're offside. It don't matter where you are. So I just think with pitches like they are now, and the way the ball's moved, and now I don't see anybody nowadays. You know, when you watch football before, you think, oh, he had a bad. No one's got a bad touch anymore, have they? I don't know if it's the pitches or what the game. I'd have to say now. I'd have to say this is just off the charts what I'm watching, and it's not just him. It's Zuma, Mendy, and then it's Rice. I mean, I could easily give Rice 10 out of 10. I've never seen it. He just doesn't stop running. He does all the hard work. You know, he just does everything. It's scary. Honestly, I watch, and I was only watching the game in the end to see if they could have a shot on target. Shot on target.
And they didn't. And that's the 3rd time this season, as I mentioned, that Arsenal have restricted a side of the Premier League.
7 points clear on November the 1st, albeit it's just 7 points clear with a few other games to play. But this is getting a bit silly.
Yeah, no, it's not silly. It's just that's exactly what they deserve. They're playing well. They've got confidence. Going to Burnley, there's a potential of an early slip-up in the game. But as soon as they get the first goal, again, they're just too strong from all over the pitch, and it was literally just make sure you go out there and be professional, and your skill will win the game. It was a little bit more difficult in the second half, but they got the goals, and that's what the fans think about it. There's a belief all of a sudden that they're going to keep going, and why not? They're not conceding goals, and it's a good trait to have.
Lee, you probably played in the greatest Arsenal defence and certainly the most famous, but 3 goals conceded in 10 games. Where would you place that as an achievement? It's incredible. Yeah, I mean, we never did that. We never equalled any of these records that they're doing. The difference that they've got to do now is they've got to win something with it and then continue it and keep going. And the longevity of that is kind of where we were. But, I mean, they're exceptional. Every one of them individually, and what they've built now is this wall in front of a goalkeeper
is brilliant as well. So, I mean, it's so difficult to break them down as a 4, let alone what they've got to protect them in front of them.
As Gary said, 3 goals conceded in 10 Premier League games. It's actually 3 goals conceded in 15 in all competitions, which is even better, and that is now 7 straight clean sheets, 1 short of the Arsenal club record, which stands at 8. So we've talked about the defence. Let's just talk about up top. How important that Gyökeres got on the score sheet today?
Yeah, we talked about him before the game about, if I want to ask about a fullback, I kind of know stuff. I might ask Gary, or you ask goalkeepers, I asked David Seaman. I asked Alan Smith, one of the great Arsenal centre-forwards that's ever been, and I asked him what he thought of him, and he was glowing report about his movement, his strength, and he said he will get goals because he puts himself in position to. He's a good finisher as well. So I'm jumping on that with him because I did like him, but everyone else was kind of unsure. Still got a way to go, but I think there's a lot of potential there for sure.
And we have to compare him to Benjamin Šeško. They both came in at the same time, different ages, of course, and different profiles. How was he today?
Yeah, I'm no further forward with him in respect to the jury's out. I think he's well off it compared to the other signings that United have made up front in Cunha and Mbeumo. He looks awkward. He had a couple of really good opportunities in the first half where balls just got played over and his touch wasn't right. And, yeah, I think for £80 million, I mean, you can say he's young, he's got a lot of potential, he's only settling in, but you still want to see a little bit.
You know what, it's 9 wins in a row in all competitions. That's the first time in 7 years as that's happened for Arsenal, and 7 clean sheets in a row as well. It's looking pretty good. Let's hear from Declan Rice.
Declan, many congratulations. Another clean sheet, another win. What was the key to unlocking this latest one?
To be honest with you, Burnley, since they've come back into the Prem, they've been unbelievable. We've watched a lot of their games, the intensity they have, the wins they've picked up, and obviously to come here to Turf Moor is tough. They've not lost here, and they've maybe lost one in like 18 months, our manager said. So we know it's going to be a tough test, but it was about sticking to our principles, doing the basics really well today. It was a windy day, you know, they play a lot of direct balls, so staying with our pairs and, you know, winning a lot of second balls, and in the end our quality shone through, and, you know, we could have had 3 or 4 in the first half. Second half weren't the best performance, but showed that other side to it where we can grind out results.
2 contrasting goals. It's important to keep showing those faces, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's important. You know, we keep scoring goals, and however they come or whoever they come from, everyone can keep chipping in. And yeah, 2 goals was perfect for us.
Long busting run from yourself?
Yeah, I think, to be honest with you, if you look at the goal as a whole, we're defending a long throw in line with our 18-yard box. Big Gabby wins the header, powerful, wants to win the ball, wants to do anything to get a clean sheet, and then we all break, and luckily enough I keep running, and yeah, it was a great header. It was our traditional number 9 header, so I'm buzzing.
I bet he is. Life's good when you're winning, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's why you can play Declan kind of as in the box-to-box midfield player, a bit Frank Lampard-esque, I think, wasn't it? Kind of getting in there. Zuba Mendy plays as the pivot, and that means he can get in the box, and at 6'4", you're not going to stop him when he gets a run on it.
Another statement win for Arsenal to go 7 points clear at the top of the table. Right, let's go around the ground, shall we?
Yet another win, yet another clean sheet. What was the key to that today for you at Burnley?
Well, especially the way we started the game. I think in the first half we were exceptional, scored 2 goals, probably should have scored another 2 or 3. We give nothing away. And that was a platform to win it, because in the second half it's true that we weren't that precise, especially with the ball. We had to make a few changes, and yeah, we didn't have that much control of the game. But defensively, again, we were exceptional to maintain the clean sheet.
It started really well for them, Gyökeres scoring in the first half.
I mean, they're just so good at set pieces. I mean, one of those days where they got all these tiny little technicians, you know, physically they're so strong. Set pieces, they're great. One of the best defensive team in the Premier League. It's just, how about this for a ball from Gyökeres? Love that ball.
Wonderful. And equally as good a ball from Trossard into the box, and Declan Rice with a wonderful header. You see, even at 1-0, you just, we spoke about this before the game, we just cannot see Arsenal conceding goals at the moment. And 1-0, 2-0, game over.
Their lead at the top, they are on 25 points, they're 7 points clear of Bournemouth. Of course, the other 3 in the top 4 still yet to play this game week. Man United had the opportunity to climb into second, but they're in 5th in the Premier League table, still unbeaten in 4 games.
Opposition goal, we want to attack. If you go out on the pitch having the feeling we're not conceding today, you feel untouchable. You feel like you can win every game, and that's the feeling that we have.
Wins it, guys?
1 goal wins it. I think we had probably about 5 or 6 1-0 victories in the 04 or 05 season where we conceded the fewest goals, because we didn't believe we were going to concede, and we always thought with the players going forward we're going to score it. Same thing with Arsenal. I have the same feeling looking at that.
It's true that saying that America won defence wins championships. It's true. Do you know, I think if you can defend well, the guys at the top of the pitch, they'll find a way to win you the game. But if you're chasing, you know, 1s and 2s and 3-0s, 4-0s, it's impossible. Well, that's why I think this Arsenal team is brilliant defensively. Goalkeeper is brilliant, and the top of the pitch they have quality to go win.
This should be the perfect opportunity for Wolves to get their first win at home. Fulham, they play well, but they've hit a bit of a wobble. They hit a bit of a wobble, and certainly not unbeatable. So if there ever was a chance for Wolves, it would be today. Otherwise, the pressure just piles up. And this is mentally. Imagine we talked about Arsenal going into a game thinking we can't lose today. Imagine the mentality of the Wolves players thinking, how are we going to win a game? When it drags on for too long, you don't find the solution. You don't find the solution as players, and you don't find the solution as a backroom staff.